However sweet it is, forget watermelons. There are many other types of melons available across the world that come in all shapes, sizes and colors. There are many more kinds of sweet, juicy melons to enjoy. Primarily consumed straight out of hand as a refreshing snack, or the flesh is blended into smoothies, shakes and fruit juices. The melons can also be tossed into green salads, fruit mixes and grain balls, or they can be used as fresh toppings over cereal, yogurt, pancakes, crepes and waffles. According to Leafy Place article, many experts agree that green cantaloupes are unique among all varieties of melon due to their smooth, silky texture and aromatic fragrances. By now, I know that you want to learn more about this unique type of melon. Let's get right into it.
Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Kilimo and Biashara. Now, I know most of you are lovers of watermelons because of its refreshing taste, yeah? But what if I told you there are various varieties of melons? Well, today we want to explore a different variety of melons. Today, we focus on sweet melon and the varieties involved when it comes to sweet melon. So join me in the farm and let's explore this particular type of farming. Hey, Jasfat.
Hello, Linda.
Hello, I'm literally salivating. Umekuja na mautamu.
Welcome to our farm first.
Thank you.
Can you please have a taste of a sweet melon?
I'm literally salivating already. So I hold it like, hold this
you
for
hold
me.
it like that.
Ooh, take a look. Which variety is this?
In the sweet melon family, you have the honeydews and you have the cantaloupes.
The cantaloupe.
So in terms of type, this is a cantaloupe. In terms of variety, this is Melody F1 from UFarm. How are you liking it?
Very refreshing.
Excellent. This is one of the best melons that there is. And actually the vitamin C content in this melon is said to be higher than what you find in an orange. So it's actually very, very nutritious. And we are trying to introduce it to the market now.
I'm loving it. It's extremely refreshing.
And how is the sugar level?
It is sweet.
And pretty well balanced.
Just what you see, I've exhausted mine. Thank you so much. I'll deal with the rest when we get to the farm.
Excellent. Now
Okay.
welcome, let's go to the farm.
Thank you, thank you. So where do we begin?
Now we are going to start with planting.
I see this side you have dragon fruit.
Yes. So
And how are they faring?
well, so far so good. We are trying to, it's actually the first time that we planted dragon fruits.
Yeah.
They're about 7 months now.
Wow.
It was very exciting to see the first flowers.
Yes.
So here I have both red
Hey, that's
and
nice.
white fruits.
And you've mulched this area.
Because what we found out is mulching has some benefits. For example, in terms of the labor you use for weeding, so you reduce the labor, and you're also able to control your water a little bit better.
So it's better when you mulch.
Exactly.
So where do we plant?
So come, I'll show you where we plant.
Okay.
So John?
He's already planting.
Yes. John, give Lida some seeds. Rita needs to get her hands dirty today.
He's already planting. Hello,
So
John.
that we can
Hi.
help you.
Thank you.
Okay, here.
This is how it looks.
So the way you do it, so you can see we have a drip line.
Yes.
So at each of the hole in the paper, there is a hole, a drip hole.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is actually to press this one in.
Just like that. So with this, what's the art of putting it down? Do you have any position, particular position, or just random?
Any side, but preferably the sharper side down.
It's so easy.
The soil. It's very easy. Yes. Here, you try.
Okay. Now I can plant here.
Yes, please.
Okay.
There are two ways to plant melons. One is first doing it in a nursery, sowing in a nursery. And the other one is sowing direct, like we are doing now.
This is very easy.
It is easy.
It's very easy.
Why we sow direct is because this place is hot. So you actually don't need to sow in a nursery. You don't need to transplant. Now, in very cold climates, it's normally preferable to sow in the nursery first.
So in cool temperatures.
You get better germination that way.
So it doesn't consume a lot of water at this level?
No, at this stage it doesn't consume a lot of water. You just need to water like once or twice a day, depending on how hot it is. And in about 5 to 7 days, it will have germinated.
It would have germinated. That's a really short time.
Exactly. Because shortly after, you actually see flowers and bees.
Bees as well.
Because the flowers are very attractive to bees.
At this planting section, would you say it's a crucial time where you have to really take care of the crop?
Well, one of the things that you have to look out for is pests, like cutworms, and things like crickets. Because they like to live under the mulch. So it's always advisable to drench first with a nice insecticide that can take care of the pests. And naturally, from my experience, you normally get 80 to 90% germination.
That's really close. That shows that all the seeds would have germinated.
Exactly.
Just what I've discovered that when we're planting, we've not put neither fertilizer or manure. Is it important at this level, or you don't put at all?
No, it's already, we had already put it when we were preparing the farm, before you made the beds. We had put farmyard manure plus fertilizer. So then you mix it up very well, because the soil needs to be a bit loose and well drained.
So what happens after planting?
Then you lay your drips, your drip lines. That is if you're using drip irrigation. And then you can either lay a plastic mulch, or you can leave it without the plastic mulch. So
it's not even a must to mulch?
You only use it if you're finding some advantages to it. And one of the advantages for us here is for weed control and pest control and labor management.
Now we've planted, what's the next stage from here?
So the next stage, we are going to see this particular crop.
It's actually here. Which variety is this particular one?
Now this is netted Gallia, and the variety is Glory from UFAM.
I'm so curious. This is a unique fruit. How did you venture into it? How did you decide or settle to plant these sweet melons?
Yeah, it's interesting because normally you go looking for the market, but for my particular case, the market came looking for me.
Wow.
Because there is somebody who was interested in somebody who can grow sweet melons for them. And they came and they actually told me which varieties they'd like me to get seeds for and produce for them. So that's how I got into melons.
Did you study anything to do with agriculture?
I can say that I studied, understudied my dad, who was a very keen farmer when I was very young. But my professional qualification is actually not agriculture, it's engineering.
That is so fascinating. Engineering.
Exactly.
So I have a farmer come engineer.
And I enjoy farming, I enjoy engineering, but I find farming very interesting.
What are the favorable climatic conditions when it comes to sweet melon farming?
Melons are basically a desert plant. So in terms of the soil, they like soil which is well drained and a bit loose. And also, the hotter the climate is, the better it is, especially in terms of the sugar content.
Just what people are so used to consuming watermelons, that's me included, but what's the difference between watermelon and sweet melon?
Well, there are significant differences. One, in terms of the size. The watermelon is a very large fruit, and most of it is water. When you look at the sweet melons, the fruits are smaller, significantly smaller than the average watermelon. Lastly, they're much more nutritious in terms of vitamin C. Because if you look at, for example, the cantaloupe, is said to have more vitamin C per gram than you find in an orange. And it's a good fruit, which means that it can be very, very useful for somebody who is trying to build up their immunity.
When it comes to sweet melon, what are the management practices? Are they similar to the ones for watermelon?
It's not so different from the watermelon, but essentially, if you look at the sweet melon, you need to know, you need to be familiar with the different fungal infections, for example. You need to know how to make sure that you're not having them spread very quickly to cover your whole crop, which we try to, as much as possible, to do biological control. So using melon thread traps. And for the smaller insects, you probably see some Mexican marigolds on the farm.
I actually thought they are weeds.
It's an interesting concept because they actually repel some of the pests. The other thing that we found very useful is to plant things that attract bees.
So you actually need bees for pollination.
Now, if you did not have bees, you would have a problem because we will not have any fruits. One of the other things that we do is we try to limit the number of fruits per vine so that you can encourage the fruits to become a bit bigger.
So you prune, or what do you do?
To just pluck off some of the flowers. If you can leave like 4 fruits per vine, that is good. Once it has grown, once it is at this stage where you have fruits, one, it is good to have the vines and the leaves covering the fruits. Why? Because they are likely to suffer from sunburn if they are exposed a lot, and the sun is very hot here. And also to improve the sugar content at harvesting time, you probably want to cut off the water 1 or 2 weeks before harvesting.
So how do you regulate the sweetness?
We just do it naturally, basically by regulating the amount of water that you're feeding to the plants.
At this level, I'm sure there's someone who wants to venture into this type of farming. But what is the startup capital? Let's say in half an acre or in an acre. What are the needs? What are the capital needs?
So for half an acre, like this one, if you have 60 to 80,000, it should be able to kick you off very well.
So where do we go next from here?
Now we've seen the netted garria. Today, we are doing some harvesting. You are in luck. So let's go to the cantaloupes and do a bit of harvesting. I'm in luck. Today we have an agronomist around.
So the agronomist is actually around?
Yes. So they can talk to us about diseases, pest control, and so on and so forth.
Okay, let's go meet her. I have a lot of concerns that I've seen here, and our agronomist is already here. So join me as I engage our agronomist today. Gladys!
Hey, Lisa.
Hello!
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
I have a concern. I've seen that this area particularly is super dry. Is there a problem, or that's how it's supposed to be?
You are just at the right time because we are harvesting our cantaloupes. And of course, you know, when crops are ready for harvesting, the leaves start drying up because the work is now finished. So, of course, there are small issues here and there of disease.
Speaking of pests and diseases, our farmer told me that he has planted marigold specifically for control of pests. Is it true? Is it a favorable means of controlling pests and diseases?
No, marigold is a very important weed for IPM, Integrated Pest Management. It's mostly used for pest control. It repels away pests, especially aphids, whiteflies, those soft-bodied pests, because of its smell. If you go near it, you'll find that around where the marigold is, there is no pest infestation.
Gladys, maybe now you can tell us about these pests and diseases that farmers should be aware when they are planting sweet melon.
Cantaloupe is a very sensitive crop. One of the major diseases is caused by fungal. It's called alternaria leaf spot, and that is what is majorly in this portion that we are standing in. The one that is even resulting in some of the leaves drying up. It will start as a leaf spot with a brown and then a yellow ring outside, and then it will expand as if you don't spray on time. And if it's not checked on time, it will even cause the fruits to start cracking. Yeah, that's one of the major disease in cantaloupes. We also have another one that's Fusarium wilt. That one, it will cause the whole plant to dry.
Gladys, at this level you're speaking Greek, what are those?
Those are like races of a disease. There is a farm that you'll have that you'll plant your cantaloupe, and there is a Fusarium resistant, so it will not be affected by all the other races.
What are some of the key things that someone who wants to venture into sweet melon should really know?
When you are a beginner, for sweet melon, you have noticed that it's not grown by so many farmers because of its technicalities involved in growing it. First of all, it's from the market. Few consumers in Kenya know about sweet melons. So one of the things that you should consider is on resistances. One is Fusarium, bacterial wilt. We also have Fusarium, we also have diseases like powdery mildew. Now alternaria, you can see it's a serious one. So focus on production. Let it be a variety that will give you good quantity fruits. Yeah.
Is it as sweet as the smell?
Yes, they are sweet. They are sweet. They are very sweet Galia.
But what's the difference between this watermelon and sweet melon?
Watermelon is what is grown majorly. People say it's a healthy fruit. Doctors recommend it. It has high nutritional value. It also has a lot of water for people who don't like drinking water. But after interacting with now sweet melon, the cantaloupe, the Galia, when I look at the nutritional value now, I'm starting to weigh. I think we should create a lot of awareness that people should now start focusing on sweet melon. Except that farmers are not aware, or even our consumers, sweet melons is the best option for a nutritious, healthy country.
Surprises with more nutritional values. It's an interesting crop so far.
Researchers have said for women who are pregnant, they should take a lot of cantaloupe because of its folate content. It is very high in iron.
That's so impressive.
This one is another fruit that people who want to grow healthy bodies that are resistant to diseases. Like now we are talking about now monkeypox is coming. It's not coming here in Kenya, but it's there.
Yeah.
So people should start eating such fruits.
Gladys, so the first thing we did when we arrived here, we planted some of these sweet melons, but I discovered that we used the direct planting as opposed to propagating. What is the difference? Which one is favorable when it comes to growing of sweet melons?
There is always an advantage of planting a seedling than a seed. For a seedling, you are bringing already the seedling. It will just take off. If you have a good environment for it, it should just take off and start producing even flowers. You see even some seedlings, when you bring them from the propagator, 2 weeks later they have a flower.
Let's talk about the market when it comes to sweet melon. How is the market so far and the uptake here in the country?
There's a lot of serious uptake in the market, and that's why you've noted in our company we are sending a lot of seeds for sweet melon, both cantaloupe and Galia, because there is a lot of awareness that has been created outside. Now people are now conscious about what they are eating. The market is really going up.
When it comes to the pricing, how is the price of sweet melon? How much does it retail at the farm gate and as well as in the market?
1 kilo of this cantaloupe will weigh around, at the farm it will be 1.7 kgs. The farmer here will sell 1 kilo at 80 bob. But when it goes to the shelves in the high end, even in the kibanda, it will not be sold as a kilo. It will now be sold as 1 piece. 1 piece in one of the supermarkets I have visited, they will sell one fruit like this at 329 bob.
Wow, that's a whooping 200% profit.
Like 200% profit. So you see this one has a comparative advantage.
Gladys, I'll be sincere, this level, my sugar levels have really gone down.
I can show you how to know if a fruit is
Yes,
ready.
definitely.
Yeah, so that when you come alone and I'm not here or the farmer is not here,
Yes.
you can test
I
for
can
yourself.
select the best one. Let's find one that you can eat as you harvest, right?
Yeah,
Okay, let's
absolutely.
find which one is
Yes,
ready.
let's find out.
You know, with watermelon, I normally do this.
You know my heat.
Huh?
That's one of the methods that traditional methods that farmers use.
Yes, to
but
know whether
sometimes
it's
it can
right.
mislead you.
Really?
Yes. If you don't know sounds properly, one of them will sound like tang, another
Then I
one will be poop.
Then I think
So I want us to
fine
check this one. You see this fruit now?
yes.
The way you are supposed to know a fruit is ready, you look at the tendril that is closest to the fruit. Where the fruit is attached to the main stem. Look at this tendril now, this one.
Yeah.
It's dry.
Oh, it's dry.
If it's green, the fruit is not ready. If it's dry, the fruit is ready 100%.
Okay.
So what does that mean? When you come now, you'll not
I
say,
see the dry.
tang! You will not now concentrate
I'll
on
see
the
the
sound.
tendril.
Yes.
Okay.
So mostly we use secatuas to harvest. And I have my knife here. I can still substitute the
Okay, you can
secatua.
substitute.
Yes. You cut.
It will regrow. Will it regrow? from
No,
here?
no. This one is already an old crop now.
is done.
We are finished with the crop. Now it's the fruit. We carry the
We
fruit.
find another one.
Yes.
And this is the cantaloupe.
This is now the cantaloupe.
The netted. This is
It
the
has
net
a
that
net,
you're speaking
yes,
about.
yes.
Now, Gladys, I've seen that some of them have really cracked. What could be the problem?
One of the reasons why we have cracks in melons
Yeah.
is because of irregular watering. You find that today the farmer will give water,
Yeah.
then they will jump another 2 days. They are not consistent even in the days that they give the water. Or when they give, it's not enough in quantities that they started with. Like you start with the spraying for 1 hour,
Yeah.
then you go for half an hour, tomorrow, such things. You'll find that even the problems of blossom end rot will be reduced. Because these problems at the blossom, they come because of a lack of enough calcium coming to the fruit.
Okay.
So it means the skin is not hard enough. Yeah.
Since this one the quality has really gone down, we can consume it in the farm.
This one we can eat.
Okay.
Yes.
Na imeiva.
Hii imeiva iko
tunaweza-
sawa.
I'm so eager. Oh. I've already started. Just fast. We are done harvesting. We are already improving our sugar levels. You're
Good.
done? The sun is hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
You know, here I'm trying to
Thanks so much.
thank you. No, thank you. It's actually sweeter than the one I tasted in the morning.
That is probably a bit more mature than the other one.
So where are you taking these sweet melons today? Which market?
The harvest for today we are taking to city market. But we still have a lot of melons to harvest.
Yeah.
So we'll be back here.
Oh, City Park Market.
Excellent.
I'm ready. Like how many kgs is this crate?
30 kgs.
30 kgs.
I'm not sure you're
Oh
going to
my
manage,
God,
but
we
you
can
can try.
It's extremely heavy.
It's heavy.
This is money. This is money for you.
I'm hoping so.
Thank you so much, Josephat.
Thank you, Rita. I've learned a lot also. And you're always welcome.
Let me bite one before I tell you about this. It is really sweet. It is refreshing and it's so hydrating. Like it has a good level of water, a balanced level of sugar, this is sweet melon for you. The farmer has explained to you the startup capital, what you need to do to manage this farm properly so that you get good produce, and vitamin C higher than oranges. Well, this is something you should think about. And I will not forget to say that the agronomist talked about smallpox. This is a good way of preventing it because of its high level of vitamin C as well as potassium as well as fiber. So thank you so much for being part of the show today. Till next time, my name is Linda Koske. Now we are going to City Park Market. Mm.